Hello, folks. My name is Walt, and this is Coffee and Concepts on Keystroke Medium. So good morning, good evening, or wherever the sun may find you. Today, we are sitting down with Luke T. Barnett. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm not sure. I'm not totally caffeinated yet. However, I do have my excellent coffee tab mug, which I'm going to be sipping from copiously. Do you drink coffee?
I do. I drink decaf because the caffeine gives me headaches. So I got my cool coffee mug here.
Yes, there you go. It's a theme.
Yes, it is. I got the shirt on too.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
There we go. Hey, Lauren's chiming in. She's like, hi, Walt.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Luke. Right on. So, whoops. I hate when that happens. When you're not downing when you're not downing the caffeine, less coffee. Is there anything else you saddle with when you're writing, like any type of snacks or something like that? Like for me, I got Cheerios because my dogs like them.
Keep them quiet.
Well, they're on both sides of me right now. Like, keep them coming or you're dead.
Yeah. What kind of dogs you got?
I have a Black Lab Bully mix, and then I have a Belgian Malinois.
Oh, I don't know what that Malinois is.
Do you know what a German Shepherd is?
Yes, I love German Shepherds.
Okay, so cut about 10 pounds off. Give it the ability to run like a diesel engine, swim like a shark, and fly like an eagle. And then have it act like a meth-addicted combat junkie all the time.
Wow. Can't go over one of those. I got 3 of those in human form, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, kids.
But no, when I write, I generally have some kind of snack because I'm constantly eating. I'm hypoglycemic and ADD, so I got to constantly move all over the place. Lately, it's been healthy smoothies I've been sipping on.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and now I got a Smoothie King like right down the street, so it's like.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so now I got to spend a whole bunch of money because
they have this place down the street from me, and it's like it's the Tropical Cafe. It's like a smoothie place.
Oh, cool.
And when I first went there, it's like, okay, $5 for a smoothie. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You know, but it's like a gallon they hand you, and that's the only size.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and the lady was like, well, you know, some people use these as a meal replacement, and I'm like, there's no way. And I drank one of them, and I'm just like, I feel so fat and stupid.
Yep. Yeah. It's like $6 here for like a small, and a small is like this huge thing.
Ginormous, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's craziness.
It's like weighted down.
So here's a question that we can, which, and I'm glad you mentioned it because it's actually pretty cool. You had mentioned that you have ADD, and to all extent, writers.
ADD.
You know,
probably.
You know, it's like you're sitting there and you're slamming the keys, and then all of a sudden, ding, and you're like, no, I must not look at the evil ding. You know, like what are some of the tricks that you have used to kind of work through that and get your words down?
Something that comes along with ADD is hyperfocusing, so that helps too. But I think just because I still get distracted by the dings, although I don't get a whole lot of them, I get enough of them. I just try to say, okay, I'm writing until this point. Until this time, like usually 11:30 or something like that, and then after that, I will stop and take care of everything else. And so if it dings, I might answer it, but I might just like find out, okay, that's somebody they can wait, and I'll just keep typing. So that's basically the only thing I try to do.
So do you with the hyperfocusing, do you write like in huge long spurts, or do you take breaks?
I write in huge long spurts when I can. When I don't get interrupted by kids or other life stuff, then yes, as long spurts as I can go. And I would actually probably write for hours if life didn't interfere, and probably to my detriment, because then I'd just fall out of my chair and just collapse on the floor right there if I tried to do that. But yeah, long spurts are my forte.
So Nick Cole is over in the Keystroke Medium chat over on Facebook, and he said, "Coffee and hatred are the only acceptable rations when engaged with the novel. Break contact, fear like a Viking."
Yes.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yes.
And I think Boss Man Josh is saying yes.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, I think you know, like we as writers are all like constantly like you know, answering that ding,
Yeah.
even though we really shouldn't be. But like, so is there one thing or another that you use to say, I need to keep my ass in the chair, or is it more along the lines of, there's, you know, methods? Is there? Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, it's more of a mindset. So it's I think that like sometimes I don't want to write, and but I'm in a job right now that I really actually hate. It's bad sometimes, and it's second shift, so I'm like 2 to 10. So I'm gone when my wife is at her worst, and she has to deal with the kids, and that makes it tough on her. It's tough on the kids, tough on me because I start going downhill about 9 o'clock. And so reminding myself that I need to write so I can get this series going, so I can get doing this full time, or at least some of the time, so I can get a different part-time job. So I'm not gone in all these weird hours. So that's motivating for it. Another thing is just like not finding anything in the corporate sector which I'm particularly geared for or that I enjoy. But writing is just, I just love writing so much that I want to make sure I focus and get it done and get it out there. And also serving the readers. You know, if people want to read my stuff, I got to have stuff for them to read. And I don't want them hanging, because I know so many authors. I mean, some authors, you know, just write their book and then just leave the series open forever. And then the fans are like, "What's going on?" And this stuff becomes a meme, and I don't want to become a meme in that way. So, just wanting to serve my readers, you know.
Right on, right on. Now you've written before this current series.
Yeah, I started a epic fantasy series, Half Orc Saga. The first one was my first book, and I got a pretty good reception for it. I was surprised. And the second one I've written, I'm revising it now. And the problem is I'm going completely indie with that. So epic fantasy means a lot of words, means a lot of money for editing. So I got to find a way to get the money for that before I can get it.
Right on.
Kayleen edited that, and also the the Galactic Core series, which is she's an awesome editor. Anyone needs an editor.
Kayleen is good people.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you know, always so stylish with the hair.
Yes, I love her hair. Her hair is awesome. My wife, you need to dye your hair purple.
Oh my god! I told my wife I wanted to dye the dog purple. Yeah, she was like, "No." The backyard is your home now, boy.
Purple people here.
Right. So speaking of strange animals in outer space, much like my very famous space dog, we have Galactic Core. So give us a highlight.
The cover. Yeah. So Galactic Core is it's a mesh of like all my sci-fi influences over the years: Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Firefly, Cowboy Bebop, Galactic Outlaw Star, just all these different influences. And it sounds like it'd be a big mess, but it actually turned out really well. And I wanted to make sure I wrote a good story. So it's a man, Doug Lancer, who's a Galactic Ranger, basically like
Space Sheriff,
like the U.S. Marshals are for the U.S. So he has authority to go all over and make arrests, whatever. The Rangers keep lawbreakers in check, and then there's the Federation, which is a military organization which keeps all-out war from breaking out, while each system has their own autonomous government. So the Federation decide to turn into the Empire and start taking over the galaxy. The Rangers, unfortunately, went to bed with the Empire, and Doug's one of the few that said, "I'm not doing that. I'm going to hold to the Ranger code." And so he's kind of on the run, trying to make bounties for a living. He runs into Lonnie, the princess, who's also a fighter pilot, running from the Empire, and they uncover this huge secret of the Empire that the Empire is planning. And along the way, they run into various people, including a very snarky, trigger-happy, sentient cat who wants to.
Is his name Dave?
No, his name is Architect, and it's interesting because I came up with the name Arch, changed it to an alien name, but everyone calls him Arch, and his personality is a mix between Rocket the Raccoon and Archie Bunker.
Then you should have called him Archie. Oh my God, it's missed opportunity. Does he talk like that too? Please tell me he talks like that.
He talks like that between the two of them. Yeah, like if they had a child and put the child's brain in the sentient cat body, so then they got like, yeah, I want to. It's like the first words out of his mouth are, "Who's the broad, Doug? You know I don't like women in my shop."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't have to use like a sensitivity reader or anything on that, because like if you tried to release a show like Archie Bunker today,
oh yeah, no,
yeah, there would be riots in the streets, and you know, the meme wars would be epic.
I didn't, and I don't use like his. I mean, Arch is a little bit like racist, but as far as his racism goes, is he calls everybody bipedal, and like bipedals are stupid because he walks on all fours. So I don't think anyone's gonna get offended about that because we're all bipedals. But I try not to like. Lonnie is basically half black, half Chinese. I don't say that so much, but I introduce her parents, which are described in a way that would make you, or have names that make you think that.
Right on.
But I don't say slanted eyes because I know that's the wrong description for Asian people, and I know they're not slanted. But I don't. So I try to avoid these different things. The closest I get to it is in the third book. Arch calls this Asian person. He starts railing on her and says, "You something or other, slant-eyed," and then he gets cut off because Doug's like, "Hey, that's enough. You don't talk racist like that."
Yeah.
So that's
what he is. So he's a racist cat, which is awesome. Oh my God, because they would be. I mean, they would be, because like to them, every
superior, and they're like, "You bipedal, we can't walk on all fours. What's wrong with you?"
So does he walk on all fours, or does he only walk on two, or sometimes mix?
Yeah, it's a mix. He mostly walks on all fours, but he can walk on two. He has opposable thumbs, which his race does not have opposable thumbs, but he had surgery to get those.
Where did they get the thumbs? Did they steal them from somebody? That would be hysterical.
I was looking at that. I looked at Cat's Paw after I wrote the book, and I was like, oh, they actually don't have anything that could actually be modified into a thumb. So I haven't really figured that out yet.
You see that guy over there? I need his eye. No, really, I need it.
Yes. Maybe I should do that. Another nod.
Oh my God. So when we're my dog's about to go ballistic.
Yes, go ballistic dog. Tackle him.
No. No, because he can do that at 42 miles an hour. It's funny for me, but it's not funny for anybody else. How does the story unfold? Like, are we talking like this grand sweeping epic? Obviously space opera. It's got that kind of space opera look to it.
Yeah.
What are we talking? Like, does he run afoul of the government that becomes the empire? Like, what happens?
Yeah, so basically they so he's the Rangers want him to come over to their side, and his mentor is actually the head of the Rangers, and so he's constantly dogging at him, and they're hunting him like a criminal, but just to try to get him to turn. And so he's constantly having to dodge them. They have to dodge the Empire because Lonnie's on the run from them, and armor troopers, and so they're so spoiler alert.
Oh, wait a minute, I have that button.
Oh, yeah, the button.
I do have a button. Yep, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
I also have a plot development button, but it never gets used.
So they uncover plans for the Empire to build a super weapon, and I right away, once they figure out what it is, I basically explain it's not a planet killer like the Death Star. It's actually like a gigantic anti-grav gun that could disrupt the gravitational forces that hold the solar system together.
Right on.
And they're supposed to use it on the core world, supposedly. So it's this race to find the plans for this weapon and erase them, so that the Empire can't complete their weapon. And there's more to it, and there's hints throughout the first book that there's more to it than that, and it's revealed over the course of the series. So it is this long epic, this long arc that hopefully my end goal. Well, not for the series, but for this huge overarching arc, is to have a Star Trek versus Star Wars type of climactic battle.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. I plan another series that's going to be like Star Trek-ish in nature, and they're going to cross over. I've started writing the fourth book, and the fourth book, I've actually introduced a character who's going to wind up being from that Star Trek universe.
Right on. So is it a one universe crashes into another, or they're just from a different part of space and that's the way they are?
So different part of space. So the idea from Galactic Core is they're in a what's known as a ring galaxy. Let's see if I can find a picture real quick. Basically, it's a it's a galaxy that's not a spiral galaxy like ours, but rather it's a long strip in an ellipse looped around. Oh, see, I can't find it. I want to take up your show trying to find this.
No worries.
It's a long loop wrapped around like a core, which is like center of our galaxy, that big bright. I think people think it's a giant black hole, whatever. The big bright ball in the center. Well, this is off center, but it's a big loop. So this galaxy is like so far away. Humans in our galaxy tried to invent hyperspace, and it malfunctioned and shot them into this galaxy. And so they wound up settling here and developing, while humans back in our galaxy developed in a different way, wound up developing warp drive. So there became Star Trek type thing. This becomes Star Wars type thing. And then eventually, just like in Star Trek, when they would cross over through portals or wormholes or stuff like that, they wind up crossing over. And so it winds up being this big battle that's going to wind up happening.
Is it going to be like a Daredevil comic where they fight at first and then they realize there's a bigger enemy and then they team up?
Yeah, and the problem is again, spoilers, they're going to team up and they're going to wind up thinking that they're destroying the big bad guy when they're actually going to be releasing it.
And how many books have you plotted out?
I don't plot. I pants. But I did.
Well, no. I mean, like not outline, but like how many books did you envision?
Yeah, I envisioned probably 9 in the main series, and then 3 more in the combined series. And then after that, there's going to be more after that, I think. The problem is like I tend to rush ahead, so trying to pull my own leash back to keep myself from going too far too soon.
Yeah,
kind of hard.
Yeah, you don't want to jump the shark. So if people want to find you, and what's the best place to stalk you on the internet?
Probably Facebook, Luke T. Barnett, on there. Oh no, I'm sorry, Luke and Rose Barnett. And you can go to my website, luketbarnett.com. That has all my books on there. I'm on Amazon. Definitely pick this up because it just came out and it's only 99 cents. I think those are the main places. I am on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm not on there very much. So probably Facebook would be the best. You can always message me. Bard of, what is my message? Am I Bard Today? I can't remember. I got so many contacts. Yeah, I think Luke and Rose Barnett or Bard Today. Look for either of those and you'll find me. You muted.
There we go. Old man. Bard of Today is the one you use for YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's what I have on YouTube. Oh yeah, I also have a YouTube channel. I'm gonna start posting short videos, just explain the characters and their origins and their inspirations and where they came from on my YouTube channel. Author Life with Luke T. Barnett.
Right on. So we had a quick question from Steve. When you were writing the space opera, what the point it deviates from regular? I think at what point does it deviate from regular sci-fi?
It has to depend on what you mean by regular sci-fi.
Probably something like The Expanse or something like that.
Okay, so yeah, it's more space fantasy. It's not really space hard sci-fi or whatever. Like you have Jeff Haskell on, and his is more hard military. Mine's not really military. I have some military scenes in it, inspired by Galaxy's Edge because they're awesome. Yes, KTF, man. But one thing I've noticed about sci-fi is that it either goes the hand waving route or it goes the hard sci-fi. I like to go like these amazing things like hyperspace and blaster bolts that don't really have scientific basis, but I like to give logical explanations to why they actually work. So eventually I start introducing those things. So I like doing that. And also my characters, like I don't like heroic characters who lie and cheat and steal. And not to criticize anybody who writes that way, but that's not what I like to write. So my characters, though they have to sneak in or do these things, whatever, they do it in honest ways. And they do it without compromising their morals. And they're still human. They still struggle. They still fall sometimes, but they get back up and they do the right thing. So I think those are the two things where they differentiate from others.
Right on. So yeah, so everybody needs to go smack the Zon right now. Grab that. They can grab. I believe they can grab. Yeah. So you got Kindle and paperback. Are they going to be doing an audio?
Yes, they have audio. They have an audio guy lined up. I don't know where the process is in that, but there will be audiobooks too.
Right on.
I can't wait to hear that.
Right on. Hey, thanks for coming out today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It's been awesome.
Right on. We'll do it again when book 2 hits. Do you have a title for book 2 yet?
Yeah, book 2 is actually up for pre-sale. It's Artificial Malevolence.
Ooh, I like that. It rolls off the tongue. Very
Thank
nice.
Yeah,
all right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I share something real quick?
Yeah, do it.
So book 3 is The Dark Weight of Justice.
Ooh.
And it's all about revenge. Am I not sharing my screen right?
Yeah, you can do it. A little button at the bottom.
Bottom, yeah. Then share.
And then select.
Share screen. Oh, on Firefox. Maybe that's why.
That's why. Oh, yeah.
That's
no big deal.
Anyway, I'm interested to hear what you think about book 3 when it comes out. That's got my samurai-ish assassin character. And I'm just interested in what you think about that, because I know I sent you some stuff before about that.
Yeah, I'm a hard sell with the samurai, because when people think samurai a lot, they a lot of time they think like Naruto, or Samurai Champloo or something like that. Or, the Batosai, all that like anime stuff, and that's I don't like that.
No, it's that's why I said samurai-ish, because I know it's not actual samurai.
Right.
It's more that anime type of samurai type.
Yeah,
thing.
when
factor.
When people start flipping, I'm done. I'm done.
No.
No flipping.
She does some cool stuff, but I have a reason for it. Like she can actually reason that she can do that.
Yeah, like when people they're like, oh, what were the samurai like? With all their swords, and the sword was a sidearm. They used guns.
Right. Yeah.
And people are like, what?
Yeah. I think the bow and arrow was their primary weapon before guns.
Spear.
Spear. Okay.
And then they had entire like regiments of archers that would act like more like artillery than archers.
Okay.
So yeah. So what are my thoughts on Samurai 7, Kayleen? It's funny, the people who get the samurai the most wrong were the people in the culture where it originated, which is really funny.
That's funny, isn't it? It's like the Kurosawa films. It's like I haven't watched them all the way through, but I've seen clips, and it's like that's that coolness of the samurai just kind of walking down, like the whole gunslinger samurai crossover thing,
Yeah,
more the theme that I'm going for in these books than actual historical samurai, because it's 300 years in the future,
right?
And a lot of information has been lost. So
yeah, exactly. That's a good reason. That's a good reason to make changes, because the thing has been lost. Just no flipping. Well, thanks everybody for. That's Kayleen. I can live with that. Better than awful. Right on.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for coming out. Buy Luke's book, and we'll catch you next time on Coffee and Concepts.
Thanks, guys.